what is a infrastructure capital plan? And I think the simplest description is at a high level, a capital plan is created to put a budget in place to replace the assets over time. And to do that, you need to start, as Julie mentioned at the very beginning, you have to be strategic about this. You have to think about things that start with the life cycle, understanding the assets, start with strategy, work your way towards a goal. And then from those two things, strategy and goal, you can get to what would really be the plan. We'd like to also use our resources and industry knowledge to pull these things together. And some of those include things like ISPE, could be ASHRAE, could be IEEE, and the manufacturer's maintenance and installation and replacement guidelines. What is the useful life of these types of assets? Always looking at it from a proactive angle is the best way to build your strategy, because at the end of the day, if you build this plan and you just throw it on a shelf or put it in a drawer, whatever, store you want to use there, it oftentimes just gets forgotten and then isn't maintained, isn't updated, and obviously isn't looked at proactively. You're not staying ahead of it. You're kind of reacting to things. That's not where you want to be.
Yeah. And I think it's, thinking about that proactive approach, and you're proactive, you're not throwing on a shelf. I think it's important to think about evolving, right, and changing. The business, the needs of the space is going to change. So as the business change, as your company might acquire different companies and different technologies, different products, whatever they might be, you need to change that plan. Things we've been seeing and coming across a lot of AI, robotics, and those types of spaces have different requirements, and to create those space and making sure that the spaces perform how they need to, you need to update and figure out what the most important factors are when creating these capital plans. We talk about creating financial planning tools, right? So for most of the time, we like to use, the basic. We find that the Excel sheet based tools are pretty simplistic, and they're the most effective way to kind of organize all your assets and figuring out, this is just an example of one where we have the type of equipment, the age, the model numbers, condition, how critical it is, right? Some companies rely on, there's different types of software, e-builder and stuff out there that you can lean on. And it just depends, for your specific business on how granular you want to get with the asset list. You can get down from you could just do the major equipment. You can get out of the secondary systems and distribution equipment down to the instrument level. So it depends on your business and what's the most important to the business to keep track of.
We like to keep it simple, Fran. I think the basics are the important part, so that it's easy for the overall team to manage and keep track of. If it's a complicated software program that somebody needs a bunch of training for all the time, you're not going to have the user-friendly connection to it. So that's why we like to keep it simple. And you can do outputs in any way you want through spreadsheets with the right type of graphics. So you can build the graphic story for the C-suite if they need it from a simple spreadsheet.